Life often hides its greatest opportunities in the form of challenges. What looks like an obstacle on the surface may actually be the key to your success. Today's story will show you exactly that, and by the end you'll discover a lesson that can change the way you see your struggles. Jacob was a hard-working farmer who lived on the outskirts of a small American town. His farm was modest, just a few acres of land, a wooden barn, and a small house where he lived with his wife, Emily, and their young son, Michael. Every morning before sunrise, Jacob walked into the fields with his old plow. He worked from dawn till dusk, pushing himself to provide enough food for his family. But no matter how hard he worked, his harvests were never enough. The soil seemed dry, the weather unpredictable, and his crops always came out weak. At night, Jacob often sat on the porch with his head in his hands. "If only I had more land," he sighed again and again. "Then I could be successful. Then I could give Michael a better future." Emily tried to comfort him. "Jacob," she said gently, "maybe it's not about having more land. Maybe it's about making the most of the land we already have." But Jacob shook his head. In his mind, success was always somewhere far away, something he didn't have and couldn't reach. One hot morning, while Jacob was plowing, the plow suddenly screeched to a halt. The metal struck something hard and Jacob nearly fell. Looking down, he saw the edge of a large stone sticking out of the ground. "Not again," he muttered angrily. He tried digging around it, but it was too big and too heavy. After an hour of struggling under the sun, he gave up. "This land is cursed," Jacob growled. "Even the soil is against me. How can I succeed with so many obstacles in my way?" From that day, he avoided the stone, steering his plow around it. He complained to neighbors, "If only I had better land, my life would change." They listened politely but offered no solutions. But young Michael didn't see the stone as a curse. To him, it was a mystery waiting to be solved. One afternoon, while Jacob rested under a tree, Michael wandered into the field and knelt by the stone. With his small hands, he began digging around it. Inch by inch, day after day, he chipped away at the soil. When Jacob saw him digging, he laughed. "Michael, you'll never move that rock. It's too big for you." But Michael didn't stop. Something in his heart told him there was more to the stone than what his father believed. A week later, Michael noticed something unusual. As he dug deeper, the soil grew damp. Curious, he dug faster. Soon, water began to seep up through the earth. "Dad, come quickly," Michael shouted, his voice full of excitement. "There's water here." Jacob rushed over. His eyes widened as he saw the water rising from beneath the rock. At first, he couldn't believe it. But it was real. The stone wasn't just a burden. It had been covering a natural spring hidden underground. From that day forward, Jacob used the spring to water his fields. For the first time, his crops grew tall, green, and strong. His small farm, which once seemed cursed, became the most fertile in the entire region. Word spread quickly. Neighbors came to see the miracle field. Jacob, who once envied others, now became the man they admired. One evening, as Jacob stood in the middle of his flourishing field, he whispered, "I once cursed this stone, but now I see it was a blessing. Without it, I would never have found the spring beneath." Michael smiled and said, "Sometimes, Dad, the things we think are problems are actually hiding something valuable." Jacob hugged his son tightly. For the first time in years, he realized he had been wrong. Success wasn't about wishing for more land or waiting for better opportunities. It was about working with what you already have and looking deeper instead of giving up. Years passed, and Jacob's farm became one of the most prosperous in the area. He expanded his fields, sold his crops at the market, and gave Michael the education he once thought impossible. Whenever people asked Jacob about the secret of his success, he always told them the story of the stone. "That rock," he would say, "taught me the greatest lesson of my life. Obstacles are not roadblocks. They are doors waiting to be opened. You just need the courage to dig deeper. And now, dear listener, think about your own life. What stones stand in your way right now? Maybe it's a failure, a disappointment, or a problem that feels too heavy to move. Most people curse their struggles just as Jacob did. But what if your struggle is hiding your greatest opportunity? What if the very thing you're avoiding is the key to your breakthrough? The next time you face a challenge, don't walk away, don't complain. Instead, remember Jacob and Michael. Dig deeper, look closer, because often what looks like a problem is really a blessing in disguise, waiting for you to uncover it. So here's the lesson of today's story. Life's obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to teach you, to shape you, and sometimes to lead you to treasures you could never have imagined.